What's happening, people? Okay, we is live right now, live from the village right now. It is 3 minutes past 8 p.m. right now. It is the 11th of September 2023 right now. I'm in London, England right now. It is movie night right now. We're about to watch Class Act from 1992 right now. I ain't know if you've seen this, but you're about to see it. Well, assuming you got it to watch it, because I can't show it right now. But this was one of my favorite films back in the day. Like, Kid and Play were everything back in the day. Well, I mean, maybe that's a bit of an exaggeration, but they were pretty big. They were pretty big. They were certainly everywhere back in the day. They were in movies. They were on TV. They had a cartoon series. And of course, they were the hip-hop duo. They were the big hip-hop duo of the 80s going into maybe the early to mid-90s. Kid and Play, Kid with a High Top. And they did House Party, which is a classic till this day, just amongst my favorite comedies just ever made. It is a brilliant film. Might even have to watch that on a movie night one of these days, we'll see. But they did House Party, they did House Party 2, House Party 3. House Party 3, to be fair, yeah, they didn't really do it for me. But House Party and House Party 2 were excellent. They actually made a House Party 4, which Kid and Play, I don't believe are in. And then I think there's a House Party 5 and a House Party remake, which brings back Kid and Play, but not as the main stars. I've not seen anything after House Party 3, though. I might watch those. But we'll see. But I have seen Class Act. This was the other movie they did. Not a house party movie, but also set in a high school. Kid and Play not playing themselves. In House Party they played Kid and Play. They actually named the character names are Kid and Play. Whereas in this, it's Blade and Peter. Chris, I can't remember. About to find out again right now. But anyway, Class Act was the other movie they did, and it is excellent. I watched this movie so many times back in the day. Like I said, it's one of my favorite films. So yeah, this is a big one for me. But anyway, I'm watching this on Amazon. It is a paid movie, a premium movie on Amazon. You either buy it or rent it, which I recommend. Totally worth it. But of course, you don't have to do that. If you don't want to, you don't got to. But if you do have it, whether on Amazon or other online services or Blu-ray or DVD or VHS, I think I actually got this on VHS somewhere. But however you got it, get it ready on Zero, and I'll let you know when to press play. But for now, let me switch over to this screen and just chat to y'all for a little bit. So yeah, it is Monday the 11th of September. My day's been pretty okay. Did some driving work in the morning, came back, had a nap, did some more driving work. I did go for a run as well, ran for 2.8 miles. I was trying to go for 3 miles, but the route I chose ended up being 2.8 miles by the time I kind of got back. I might have been able to get 3 miles if I pushed it just a little bit further. I think I probably stopped just a little bit too early. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Maybe next time I can get 3 miles. But I ran 2.8 miles today. I normally do one. Well, I've normally been doing one. Recently, I've been doing 2. Today I did 3. I want to try and start doing 3 miles on a regular. That's my plan right now, to run 3 miles maybe once or twice a week, and then eventually kind of move that up to between 4 and 5 miles. Once or twice a week, and then maybe every now and then do a much longer run. But got to get used to the movement first of all. Got to get used to running, because I've been running for a while, been going jogging for a while, but like I said, you've been doing just a mile, and I've done long distance runs before. It's not alien to me, but it's not something that I do a lot of, so it's really just trying to get used to running that little bit longer on a regular basis. So yeah, started on 1, moved up to 2, now doing 3. So I'm trying to make 3 a regular thing for maybe the next few weeks, and then see how we feel. I don't really focus on speed when I go for jogs. That being said, of course, you don't want to be too slow when you're doing it. So as long as I could do 3 miles, get to a point where I can do 3 miles in a decent amount of time, You know, I'll say about 26 minutes, I think, because I did like 20, what was it, like 27, or I can't remember, was it 27, 28 minutes, I think it took me today. Let me check real quick. $27 minutes, yeah, just over 27 minutes for 2.8 miles. So yeah, if I can get that down to about 25 to 26 minutes, then I feel like that's a good point to start bumping it up to like 4 or 5 miles. But yeah, speed is not the object, it's more just kind of a guide of, if I know if I'm going too slow, that means it's too hard for me to run that distance, whereas if I can do it at a good pace, that means it's getting a bit easier and time to challenge yourself a bit. So that's kind of how I'm going at it, but I'm not really aiming for speed specifically. Like it's just a bit long doing it that way. Like I've done, like the fastest I've run a mile is about 7 minutes something, which I was pretty impressed with. I ain't gonna lie, I was pretty impressed with that. So that's 7 minutes and something, but that was just for the sake of doing it, not necessarily because I want to keep doing it on a regular basis. That was just like me challenging myself to run a mile as fast as I can. I've probably got it in there somewhere. Not there. The thing about this app, I use the Nike Run app, and it used to be that you can quickly find your runs and your achievements and things like that. They've changed it so that it's so difficult to find your achievements. So now I'm like, I know I've done a mile in like 7 minutes something, and I know it noted it down, but it's just like hard to find now. Like, where did they put it? Like, bruh. I can't understand why people do these sorts of things where they take a product that is, you know, pretty cool, pretty good to use, and then they make it hard. Is this it? No, it's my run levels. I've run a total though of 389.5 miles using the Nike app. That's pretty cool actually, I ain't gonna lie, man, that is pretty cool. But it may be coming a time where I stop using this app in favor of something else, but I don't know. I've been using it for so long, I don't want to give it up, but they're not really helping themselves, helping their cause by, oh wait, achievements, finally, here we go. So here we go, my fastest mile was 7 minutes and 36 seconds. I was pretty impressed with that. I'm pretty impressed. That was in 2021. So what's that? 2 years ago. A little over 2 years ago. It's April 2021. So a little over 2 years ago, and I was pretty impressed with that. That I was able to do it in under 8 minutes, quite significantly under 8 minutes. So yeah, I was quite pleased with that. But like I say, it's not like I'm trying to do that all the time. Like I'm not training for it. I ain't no athlete. I'm not an athlete. I've not done a marathon or a half marathon though. But yeah. You know, I've actually earned almost every trophy on this app, I think. Let me see here. Yeah, the only ones. Yo, what up, Sam? Sam B and a place to be. Just looking over my running achievements. But how's your day going? How's your day been? Appreciate you joining this live stream as we're getting ready to watch Class Act from 1992. Class Act, the classic movie. At least for me, it's a classic movie. I guess it was a very popular movie in my school. Well, not just in my school, I'm sure, but it was a popular movie in my school. But it seems the public at large, at least the UK public at large, hasn't heard of this movie or House Party or even Kid and Play for that matter. So it was definitely very popular in certain circles, but apparently those circles were maybe relatively small in comparison to other circles. So it is what it is. But anyway, it's a great film regardless. It's a great film. I've seen it many times in the past. I've not watched it for a long time now though, but I've seen it many times but in the past. So yeah, definitely looking forward to this one for a movie night. Kid and Play, the rap duo from the 80s and 90s. Oh good, wasn't feeling too great over the weekend, but better today. I'm glad you're feeling better, Sam. What was it, like a stomach bug, like an illness or something, or if you don't mind saying? I mean, yeah, I've been watching the Thor movies, the MCU movies. The plan is to do a video on Love and Thunder for the movie channel, but before I do that, I want to refresh my memory on the entire Thor storyline, which is Thor, Avengers, Thor, The Dark World, Avengers, Age of Ultron, Thor, Ragnarok, Avengers, Infinity Wars, Avengers, Endgame, and then Thor, Love and Thunder. So yeah, I've watched up to what have I watched up to? I watched up to Avengers Age of Ultron, so I just got 3 or 4 to go. 4 to go. 4 Thor movies to go. Oh, I see. That, okay. I see. Alright. Glad you're feeling better now though, still. Glad you're feeling better. Did you try the kitchen towels like I suggested? I'm just saying, it will work. Save a bit of money, it will work. Nah, I'm kidding. I know. But still, could work. Possible. It's not an impossible thing. Oh, actually, speaking of that, I might have to ask this question again if more people turn up into the chat today. But yeah, so talking about that, I mean, yeah, that's out there. Like, I'm not, yeah, I'm playing around. But the other day when I was talking about was it recycling oil, right? It kind of got me thinking a little bit. And here's my question for you, and I'll ask this question again if anybody else shows up today. But here's my question of the day, or one of my questions of the day. What poor people things do you still do? Right? So what poor people things do you still do? So what things do you do to save money, even if you don't really have to do it anymore? Like maybe you got a little bit more money to your name right now, but you still do it anyway. But so what poor people things do you still do? Because times are hard right now. Cost of living crisis going on. We could all use some money saving tips. So if not recycling oil, I think we all do some poor people things. I feel like even the richest people in the world still do poor people things. So that's my question of the day. What poor people things do you still do? So I've got a few, I think. The recycling oil one though, I wouldn't say I still do it because I haven't really fried anything for a long time in the house, but I would still do it. I would. I haven't done it just because I haven't really fried anything for a while, but I would. But here's one that I still do is with the washing up liquid. When the washing up liquid gets down to about halfway, yeah, fill it up with water. Not all the way to the top, but just near the top, like maybe like 3/4. Fill it up with water, shake it up, and you got more washing up liquid. And the thing about that one, in fairness, it doesn't extend the life a whole lot. Like it's not going to be a significant extension of the washed up liquid lifespan, but it will extend it enough to the point where you don't have to buy new washed up liquid right away. Like you can go a little bit longer before you have to buy washed up liquid. So yeah, I still do that. Cut the toothpaste when you have reached the bottom. Well, waste low on washing up liquid. Oh, you have the water as well. You need water as well. Awesome. Big things. The toothpaste one though, that's a good one. I'm gonna have to start using that actually. That's a good one. I'm gonna have to start incorporating that one. But yeah, the things with the washed up liquid one, that you can't put too much water because it just becomes too loose, right? Yo, what up, Yuri? It just becomes too loose. So you kind of have to, you know, put enough so that it's not too loose, but not so. Sorry, you put enough so you can extend the life, but not so much that it just like, because if you squeeze too hard, it just spits it out. So you got to be a bit careful when you pour it out as well. Yeah, been a while, Yuri. How you doing? How's your day going? How's your day been? Appreciate you joining this live stream. In fact, we just went 21 minutes in this stream, so I reckon we need to get this movie started. But I have a question for everybody, Yuri. I'm going to ask you that question in a moment. But before that, let me switch over to this screen. Hope y'all ready on 0. Because we're going to go 3, 2, 1, play. So if you're ready, this is Class Act from 1992, Kid and Play. I will not be reading bedtime stories, but I will do this countdown. So in 3, 2, 1, play. I will not be reading you bedtime stories. I will not be tucking you in. That's not gonna happen. I've been alright, man. I've been okay. I've been illin' and chilling, maxing and relaxing. By the way, there's somebody in this movie. If you're watching along, there's somebody in this movie you might recognize, but I won't say who. You'll notice when you see him, but you might recognize the name if you can see it on screen right now. But here's my question, Yuri. What poor people things do you still do? What poor people things do you still do? So things that you do when you're poor because you need to save money, save resources. All right? What poor people things do you still do? Even if you don't have to actually do it anymore, what poor people things do you still do? That's my question for you and everybody else. We've got a couple of things already. And that toothpaste one is a good one. I'm gonna have to start using that one. You look fitter and slimmer since the last time I saw you. Looks like you've been regular at the gym. You know what? Big up Yuri for noticing. I can't lie. I am a bit slimmer. I am about 4.5 kilograms lighter. So yeah, I've been pretty regular at the gym. Um, and not just the gym, just going jogging and stuff like that. So, but I guess that the biggest thing really is learning and trying to incorporate better eating habits, because that's the important thing really, is to get into the mindset of eating better. But yeah, thanks for noticing, Yuri. Appreciate that. Still not reading my bedtime story though. Train my dogs to steal my neighbor's mail. That's what I do. Oh, that's just cruel though, isn't it? I hope you give it back to them. Congratulations. IP freely. Congratulations, got to hear that. That's some great progress. Well, thank you. Appreciate that. I also tell my dog to defecate on my neighbor's lawn so I don't have to clean it. I mean, you should clean up after your dog, especially if he's defecating on your neighbor's lawn. Well, first of all, you shouldn't tell your dog to defecate on your neighbor's lawn. That's one thing. But if he does, you definitely should be cleaning it up. Get that pooper scooper out. I had to put the movie I watched this to Porter around this week. That's so good. Whenever you whenever you can get a chance to watch this, it's definitely recommended. Hopefully, there's enough in the subtitles to convince you that this is a great movie, because it is. I like to do it to see my neighbor's reaction. Very entertaining. Hey, one day he might punch me in the face though. Just saying. Okay, whopping your ass sideways. What's a whopping your ass sideways? Maybe bills, no money for a life this week, man. Yeah, I get that. That sucks, man. When all the bills come, it's like they all come at once as well. It's like just when you think you got a little bit, somebody's got their hands in your pocket. You know what? This film, there's some inappropriate moments in this movie. I can't lie. Like I guess we didn't really spot it when we was watching as kids, but man, that was mad inappropriate. Yeah, and here's the mix-up. Here's car insurance, tax, and phone bills. Oh, mate, phone bill as well. Hopefully, ain't got none of those like 0898 numbers on there. I mean, you're supposed to go to a phone book for that. Yeah, phone books for that. Come making those 0898 calls from your house phone. Get that bat ready. It was his phone contract on pay, and not because he makes me, it's because I got him the phone for Christmas, so I'll pay the bill. Yeah, I get that. Probably wishing you just got him like a Nintendo instead. Get him something with no recurring bills. Like, man, Why don't I get on this damn phone? I gotta pay for it all. Maria Perlman. Okay, yo, if I need him to, he isn't a twat all the time. Not all the time, just some of the times. Oh man, this movie though, memories, memories. His teacher's like 3 times his age, flirting with him though. Man, look at this guy though. This guy's the bully. This guy's the bully, man, dressed like he's from the YMCA. My days. This was 1992. This he's a tough guy. Alright, Doug. Oh man. Yeah. We're speaking of poor people things that we still do. Yuri didn't give an answer. Product placement. Clocks on what's going on. I'm clicking something that requires a source. I'll put water in the bottom and get every last bit of it. That's a good one, actually. I think I've done that as well. If you so like when you put water in the like when you pour the sauce out the jar, you use like that kind of sauce. When you pull the sauce out of the jar, you put like a little water in the jar afterwards, rinse it around to make sure you get all the remaining bits. All right, what people think what I still do. So I've always said about the oil and what else did I say about the washing up liquid? What else do I still do? Let me I need to think a little bit. I guess this is more an obvious one or a common one rather. But like carrier bags, right? I almost never throw away carrier bags. Like I end up using them as bin bags a lot of the time. I feel like a lot of people do that though. That's probably a common one. Yo, what up, Al? How's you doing? How's your day going? How's your day been? Appreciate you joining this live stream as we're watching Class Act from 1982. How are you? Actually, Al, I have a question for you, Al. I have a the titty. I have a couple of questions actually. First question is, what poor people things do you still do? Right? That's a question I'm asking everybody. What poor people things do you still do? So things that you do to save a little money here and there, to save on resources here and there, even if you don't really have to do it anymore. But what poor people things do you still do? That's my question for today. My other question for you, Al, is have you heard Dax's new song? And if so, what do you think of it? It's a classic movie, man. It's literally one of my favorite movies ever made, and definitely one of my favorite movies. Back in the day, I was watching this when I was in school. Like Kid and Play were just like everywhere back then. Like they even put water in a bubble bath or shower gel. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Get that little bit more out. I feel like water, you could add water to a lot of things, don't it? You could literally add water to a lot of things to get just a little bit more out of it. You just have to be careful with how much water you add, because some things you can add a lot of water. Other things you could have had maybe just a little bit of water. Yeah, Dak's new songs are called uh Oliver, what was it? Oliver Anthony Richmond, north of Richmond. maybe about a couple of weeks ago, like was it? Yeah, about 10 days ago, according to this thing. Got the toothpaste tube open to get the rest of the toothpaste out. That's a form of thing I still do. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to start doing that one. I usually just like squeeze it really hard. But yeah, I feel like cutting it open is probably a better option. You never add too much water, just enough. So it's useful, right? Just enough. That's the key. Just enough. Not too much, not too little. Just right. But yeah, you could like add what to the bubble. There's a shower gel. You could add water to the bathroom cleaner. You know when the bathroom cleaner's running low, or when it's even when the bathroom cleaner's like finished, like when you can't re-squeeze no more. Right, you could add quite a bit of water, shake it up, and use that to clean the bath. Like you really just get that little bit more out of it. Wasn't that keen on it? Okay. How about you, Sam? Have you heard it? What do you think? May 1992. Chris have done the art of introducing some good phone Dax there. And to me, it looked like Dax just copied Chris Webby in the music video. Mm. I don't know too much about Chris Webby. I don't know. I thought this one was alright still. I ain't taking nothing away from Christopher Webby. I'm sure he's I mean I've heard some of his stuff, so yeah. Well, Dax did alright with this one, you know. I thought you did a pretty bang up job actually. How about you, Sam? Will anybody else hear it? What you think? Well, Dex remix was alright. I like Dex, yeah. Oh, play the player. Yeah, man. Well, like, yeah, Dax did pretty good with that one, you know. Like, kind of had a nice sound to it, you know. Something a little bit different. Yo, what up, Brax? Brax Bibby, a place to Bibby. How was Yibby? To be fair, lots of people are remixing Richmond North or Richmond, so yeah, that I didn't know, but yeah, like it's not. I feel like if you know people do remixes or different versions of songs, and I feel like some you add your own kind of flavor to it. Like if you go back into the days of like the old school jazz singers, like most of them didn't write their own songs; they were written for them. But that never mattered because you'd sing it like you wrote it, right? You sing it in a way that, or you could hear it have a song that's written by somebody, sung by like three, four, five different artists, and each version would be just completely different and valid in their own right, you know. So the fact that somebody else done something before, that to me is never an issue, you know. It's like because people just bring their own kind of style, their own vibe, you know, their own kind of meaning to a song, whether it's something they wrote or something that was written by somebody else. Game I was playing earlier, Hitman Blood Money, it's been one of the games, the PS2 game. I was playing from PlayStation Plus, that's why the graphics look shut. Okay. Alright, so to the original Oliver Anthony song. Homie. You say homie? You say So what do you think of the? I mean, I don't think I've heard the original song actually, but what's your opinion on the original song then, Al? came from nowhere, and a lot of people where song. You could say anyone who is jumping on that bandwagon is a bit mad that it's none of my business. Yeah, I think sometimes people get a bit too caught up in the whole this person did something first type thing when the truth is it's like the first time you hear a song is versus when you hear a cover of that song or a remix or whatever of that song. Like more often than not, the first time you hear it is going to mean something that any other versions just can't do, right? And that's kind of to be expected. That's normal because there's like levels to where art reaches the soul. And it doesn't mean like the remix is bad or the cover is bad or whatever. It's just style, and vibe. And the original song's great. Oh, he's getting cocky now. Here's a question then. Which cover of a song do you think let me not say better. Better is not the wrong word. I think better is not the right word I want to say. But what cover? What cover of a song do you think just hits different to you? Like, not necessarily a better than the original song because that's like whatever. But to something that when you heard it, it just hit more to you. It hit harder for you than the original song. Like, so what cover of a song hit harder for you than the original version of that song? Oh, Wedge. Got an interview for a new job on Wednesday, and I admit I'm a bit nervous about it. What's the job? Who couldn't give a shiny chance to remix this one? It's just another bandwagon for people to jump on. Oh, Wedge just can't catch a break. I mean, that's kind of YouTube thing, isn't it? When something gets any kind of trend or theme or whatever gets a little popular, everybody does it. Everybody does it. Oh, Johnny Cash is hurt. Yes, yes. The one that comes to mind for me would be oh, what's it called? Damn, forgotten the name. Rage Against the Machine, Killing in the Name. Wait, Killing in the Name was a cover. Hold on, seriously, Killing in the Name was a cover. That just blew my fragile little mind. Who did it originally? Let me see if I can find out who did Killing. Okay, wait a minute. No, Rage Against the Machine did do it originally. Okay, now I'm confused. I'm confused. Yeah, Killing the Name was, yeah, no, it was originally by Rage Against the Machine. Okay. Become a vinyl artist. I did Rage Against the Machine. Carpenter Superstar. Okay. Okay, okay, let me what I'm saying now then is which cover hit harder for you than the original? Which cover version of a song hit harder for you than the original? But yeah, it's all good. But yeah, what's the interview? I mean, what's the job for? Don't worry about. I mean, nervous. Well, being nervous is not a bad thing. It kind of depends on what you're nervous about, really. But being nervous is not necessarily a bad thing. Being nervous is a sign that you care about the outcome. Soft. Oh man, okay, let me. I'm trying to remember the song I was trying to think of. Um, Mad World, Michael Andrews, that was it. So yeah, it was originally by Tears for Fears, but the Michael Andrews version, um, or Gary Jules, rather, was the name of the singer. I think Michael Andrews. Wait a minute, am I confused myself? Yeah, Gary Jules was the singer. Yeah, so Gary Jules, the one that was in Johnny Darko, that version that was in Johnny Darko. Yeah, that hit hard for me. That the way that was done just hit harder for me. Sorry, but no cover. Killing the name is gonna be rage. Killing in the name of do do do. Now they do what they told ya. Do do do. Now they do what they told ya. Do do do. Now they do what they told ya. Do do do. Now they do what they told you. Got you under control. Now they do what they told you. Now you're under control. Man, that song hits hard. I don't know about. I don't know say if a cover version could ever do it. All I'm gonna say is that it will take a lot for a cover version to do it, because that song hits hard. I'm good after interaction. You can check the video of an old school rapper Big Daddy Kane getting to put hands on British rapper Hijack for interrupting his performance in London. There you go. Tells we beat him up. Yeah. You being eaten. Don't be used for work and care home, caring for the elderly. Sleeping, falling in reverse cover of Last Resort History. Oh yeah, that was a good one actually. This is my last resort. Sweet Sweet and the Banshees, Beth Hart and Joe Bonamassa and Annie. That was Strange Fruits. That was hard for me. Strange Fruit. Wasn't that like Maya Angelou poem or something? You know what? The thing about the Fall in Reverse version of Last Resort is I'm pretty familiar with the original song. Well, I was from years ago when it came out. But hearing that version for the first time, legit forgot who did it. Like, it took me a while to remember, he was doing it originally because it was like, yeah, it did something. It did well with that cover for sure. Oh well, they got a few secrets. No, but it was a poem entitled Bitter Fruit, written by a Jewish guy who was overly shocked by seeing photos of lynched black people. Soon after it was made into a song and changed. Okay, okay. Well, they reverse made it their own. The original goes hard, no doubt. But fully reverse, you could feel every word for sure. And that's the thing about cover versions. Like a really good cover version of a song is like when the artist can sing it and really to make it, yeah, like make it their own song, like really sing it like as if they wrote it, and I think sometimes with cover versions people try to sound too much like the previous artist and it doesn't really come across so well. But when they just take the song and just really make it their own sound, their own style, maybe even give it a whole new meaning by the way it's sung, that for me is like a really good cover. Uh, Going too far. I was gonna say Will Smith song snaps, but then again, probably shouldn't put the name Will Smith and Snap in the same sentence, should I? Will Smith is in my opinion a really good artist. Like he didn't really like back in say the 90s, like it just kind of felt like he as popular as he was, he never really got that recognition from a lot of the hip hop or rap community, and he was always kind of seen as the soft commercial rapper, you know. So he had songs that were like popular in the charts. Lots of people liked them, and those people bought into it. But in kind of hip hop rap communities, it was always kind of seen as like that soft. commercial, pop rapper, and he never really got that recognition as a lyricist, as a writer, as a performer. Not certainly not in the '90s anyway, but maybe a bit later on. Like I think people recognize him more for his skill now. Um, but yeah, back in the '90s, maybe up until about the 2000s, like early 2000s, it just wasn't really like clicking, and it was a shame because like he was putting out fire tracks back then. Like Will Smith was putting out fire tracks back then. I think if people kind of got over the whole, oh, he's pop, he's this, he's that, if people just got over that and just pay attention to what he's doing, they would have realized that back then that dude was spitting. Bust Down is an Bust Down is an underrated old school artist. Bust Down, I don't even know if I've heard of that guy. Very underrated. Man, call him High Yellow, raw. Oof. There were 8, 9, 10 of them. 8, 9 of them. Buster Douglas. Old school reference. If you know, you know. He's from the late 1980s, early 90s. He was well known around the South. Look up his song, Pop That Thing, and Nasty Biatch. Which is a grown folks only song. Okay. Well, After Dark, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. Oh man, this song though. Man, if you know, you know. Sam, if you watch this movie someday, and I really hope you do, I really hope you do, you gotta know that these dance moves they're showing right now, accurate. Back in the day, these were the moves. Back in the day, these were the moves. Oh man, the memories though. You the some old stuff. EU. I don't think I know that one either, actually. Actually, Brax. I'm not sure if I asked you this yet, and anybody else who haven't asked yet. What poor people things do you still do? What poor people things do you still do? So things that you do to save some money, to maybe save on resources, to get a little more out of something. What poor people things do you still do, even if you don't have to do anymore? We've got a few answers already. I want to see. I want to see what your answers are. What poor people things do you still do? Falling in Reverse did a cover of Gangster's Paradise. That did not hit for me. Okay. Falling in Reverse doing Gangster's Paradise. Interesting. I might have to check that one out. Watch it. Yes. I'm just checking out. Bust down. Pop that thing. Check that out. It's a party track. Alright, cool, cool, cool. Man, the memories this is bringing back though. But yeah, I would say like Kid and Play. They did quite a few movies. But in my opinion, for whatever that is worth, and hopefully it's worth at least a little bit. But in my opinion, the three must-see Kid and Play movies are House Party, House Party 2, and this Class Act. These are the absolute three must-see Kid and Play movies: House Party 2, and then Class Act. The other movies they did, I mean, they're not, but yeah, House Party 2, and Class Act, absolute must see classic 90s movies. Wasn't for me, but Alicia, can't like everything indeed. The film that's from the like Gangster's Paradise, um, the film that was used in was called Dangerous Minds. If you ain't seen it, that's another great movie as well. Oh, it's all about to go down now. Speaking of which, yeah, old school hip hop films, School Days, Crush Groove, House Party 1, 2, 3, 2, watch this. As Folly, as Kid and Play, as the main characters. Yeah, Crush Groove I've not seen, but yeah, I've seen all the House Party movies. I've seen all the House Party movies. That was my childhood, dude. Yeah, a movie, indeed. Let me ask you this, Al. You've seen Dangerous Minds by the looks of it. What stood out to you the most about that movie? Yo, what up, Ben? How you been? But yeah, what stood out to you most about the movie Dangerous Minds, Al? And for anybody else who's seen it as well, by the way. What stood out to you most about that movie? You know, see, School Days and Crush Groove. Alright, cool, cool. You see 187. That was a decent movie. I've not seen 187. Was that about a murder? I'm guessing no. About homicide. That's the police code for a homicide. So I'm guessing it's about a homicide. On DVD, but I ain't watched it in years though. Okay. But what was like when you did watch it? Like, what stood out to you the most about it? How about you, Ben? What stood out to you the most about Dangerous Minds? And also, Ben, two questions for you really. So yeah, what stood out to you the most about Dangerous Minds? And also to Ben and anybody else who's not answered yet, what poor people things do you still do? So things that you do to save a little bit of extra money, to save on to get a little bit more out of your resources. What poor people things do you still do? Even if you don't have to do them anymore. Yeah, those yeah, the Black American Classics and the poor people stuff I still do is use coupons and go to clearance sales, clearance aisles, garage sales, thrift stores, dollar stores. Okay, yeah. If you yeah, if you go to the clearance aisles, or the reduce, we call them we call them reduced sections over here. But if you go to those sections, you could find some stuff, some good stuff in there. If you're a little bit savvy about what you're looking for, like anything like dairy, you're going to be want to be careful with, just because they can go bad real quick. But there's a few things you might find in the in reduced section, and as long as you know you're going to have eat it within a reasonable amount of time, you're gonna be fine. Like you don't necessarily have to have everything that same day. Like you could like certain things you could probably like stretch out to a few days, maybe even a week, depending on what it is. But yeah, definitely worth checking the reduce section. Know what you're getting, and you can get some good stuff for real cheap. To be honest, I'll watch that Dangerous Minds because we was waiting for the song. dun 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 dun. Alien Ant Farm, Smooth Criminal. Yeah, yeah. That was a good cover. Jeez, no, someone was 5 minutes behind on the video replying to a question you asked half an hour ago. That's so good, Ben. Gotcha. We gotcha. Free markets, antique shops, and whatnot. That's where all the good stuff we get, though. And use all the film, a lowdown there. Shame. You know, I haven't seen that yet. You know, I know the film we're talking about, but yeah, no, I haven't actually seen it. That was Keenan Wayans. Yeah, I found a little movie with Tupac called Gridlocked. From a childish offer. But yeah, Gridlocked, yeah. It's Tupac and Tim Roth with Tandy Newton. I know that movie. with foods from places like that. Just the snacks. Yeah, it depends what type of food you're getting. Like things like dairy, like I say, anything like kind of dairy or anything like along those lines. Yeah, you probably want to avoid. You probably want to avoid. But yeah, there's certain foods like dry foods, for example, are usually good ones. Like any kind of dry foods are usually good ones, or anything that you can cook. Anything that you can cook, you can get like if like for example potatoes. If you cook it relatively quickly, you could probably get a few more days past the dates. And you have to remember that the sell by date isn't necessarily the date. It doesn't mean that you can't eat it. If you food that goes past the sell by date, you can still eat them. That's just the date that the shop can no longer sell them. You can still eat food past the sell by date. You can even eat food that's gone past its use by date as well, which is the date that you're supposed to eat it by. But you can still eat foods past that date. The only thing is that you're not going to get as much flavor out of it or as much, nutrients and things like that. It's not going to kill you. Um, I mean, too much of it will make you ill for sure, but it's not, in reasonable amounts, it's not going to kill you. But yeah, anything that you can cook, you can get a few more days out of it before it goes like bad or whatever. But yeah, because we're not dangerous, man. You notice, Michelle. If it bleeds, we can go. That's Predator. So the thing about Dangerous Minds, reason I asked that question, because the thing that stood out to me the most was the head teacher. I think is played by something B. Vance, Clarence B. Vance, I want to say. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But the head teacher was very adamant about the children following a particular sort of set of manners. Like in particular, it comes to knocking on the door. Like he was very particular about the kids knocking the door and turning people away if they didn't knock the door. And on one hand, you could look at it as trying to build manners, trying to um, get the kids to understand respect and all that sort of stuff, right? But the truth is that in the situation and the type of people he was dealing with, what it effectively meant is that he was alienating the students he was responsible for. And in the end, it ended up being the reason, or amongst the reasons, why that kid got killed. Because he went to see the principal, the headmaster, and because he didn't knock the door, he turned him away, and he ended up getting killed. And had the headmaster just had just that little bit more understanding of the situation, the people, and understanding that okay, people aren't always good. They're not raised in environments where everybody knocks. You know what I mean? Maybe they should knock for sure, but they're not raised in that environment where it's a common thing. So them just kind of walking on the doors is more natural for them. And because he wasn't willing to meet them, say halfway in where they're coming from and where he's trying to get them to, he ended up turning him away, and because of that, yeah, that kid got killed. So that's the one of the biggest things that I noticed about that film. That because I see that in life, so to speak, that oftentimes the people who are responsible for, say, the students, the pupils, are coming from environments that are completely different to the students that they're responsible for, and as such, they don't relate. And instead of them to try and meet them halfway, they don't even try. And granted, this is a more extreme example, but it shows where that could potentially lead, where somebody's death could have been prevented had the headmaster just attempted to meet them where they're at, or at least trying to meet them part way. Phones is we can vibe. I think I got it on my phone. Specifically Virgin Max. Mobile film enjoyed was Menace to Society. Oh yeah. The middle school. I have a question. What band do you think has a bad lead singer? A bad lead singer? Ooh, interesting question. Let me think on that for a second. I had a movie, Cool Runnings, 1924 time. The American Pie films. They had some great soundtracks too. Featuring Candy Legend. Maroon 5. Adam Levine. Eat the ass. Um, a band that has a bad lead singer. I don't know. Maroon 5, is that the ones that goes like girl like you, I want a girl like me, and a girl like you, girl like that's Maroon 5, isn't it? The thing is, I think most bands, the way the singer sings often goes with the type of music they produce. So even if the singer sings in a way that's maybe not pleasing to your ears, it goes with what they're trying to do. And I don't know if I could say it's bad if they're making the music in a way they're intending. So I don't know. I feel that's a hard question to answer. Let's see a car wreck. Meatloaf's performance at the 2011 AFL Grand Final. But if we're talking about live performances, I think probably the worst live performance, or maybe the most tragic live performance. Well, let me not say most tragic. That's a bit loaded. But the most tragic live performance that didn't involve somebody getting injured or dying. Let me just say that was when what's that girl? Was it Jessica? Not Jessica Simpson. I think it's her sister, where she was singing and the sound, the backing tape cut out, and she was completely miming the whole song, and it became super obvious. And she ended up doing some like dance or whatever, then running away. And they did for real, especially in part two. I gotta think of one people who were saying XRLs. Granted, he might not sound as good now, but back then he could sing. No, for sure. Ashley Simpson, yeah, that's the one. Sweet child of mine. Did Mariah Carey have an issue once? And then why see and New York East? Yeah, yeah. There was I can't remember what it was. I think she tripped or something, or I can't remember. No, she didn't trip. No, she didn't trip. I think it was like a technical issue or something. I don't remember, but yeah. But Mariah Carey's too classy to ever have a bad word said about her. So we don't do that here. We don't do that here. Mariah Carey is way too classy. Mariah Carey wakes up classy. Mariah Carey's so classy. Mariah Carey is so classy. She wears a diamond studded dress just to go poop. That's how classy she is. Karen Parsons. Skip Wankman. Oh, mate. I don't think the Americans know what that means. I'll kick your ass. Okay, popular band or artist that most people love but you don't like. For me, Coldplay. Cannot stand them. Oh, okay. I like Coldplay. Well, I don't know. I haven't heard a lot of their new stuff, but I did like Coldplay back in the old days at least. Popular bands that a lot of people like that I don't. Boys in the Hood, Poetic Justice, Betty, Prison Song. What else do? Eminem wouldn't say that, especially in his song The Warning. Oh, about Mariah Carey. Yeah. No, she's in some moment. Actually, just because it's all system. is never understood. Nickelback got a lot of hate, but they had some good songs though, didn't they? Well, that one good song really. I wouldn't say I like Nickelback though, but I just like that song. But yeah, that was Class Act, and that movie was a class act. So if you're watching along, you already know. But if you didn't, definitely a highly recommended movie. Look it up. It's not on any of the free streaming services. You gotta buy it or rent it, but totally worth it in my humble opinion. Um, so yeah, if you ever have a spit, how long is this film? Well, it's not long at all. It's got just over an hour and a half, an hour 37. So yeah, whenever you got like a spare hour 37 and a spare £3.50, this is a good way to spend both of those, definitely. So yeah, great movie, one of my favorites from back in the day, and one of, in my opinion, one of just a must-see Kid and Play movies. Of the many movies they did, this is one of their must-see movies. But yeah. Let me switch over to this screen. That's the wrong button. That's what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do. Here we go. Oof. Okay, so let me try and think real quick. So bands that a lot of people like, I don't. I don't know, you know, because I guess I don't spend a lot of time listening to stuff that I don't like. I don't really end up paying not a lot of attention to them to know what other people think. So yeah, I guess stuff like what's it called? What's that guy called? Takeshi 69. What's that one? Young Boy NWA or NBA? Young Boy NBA. You know, stuff like that. Like, a lot of people seem to like that kind of music. It doesn't do it for me. And as much as I like to say things like there's no such thing as rubbish music, it's just music you understand and music you don't. You know, music that gets you, music that don't, that music that does it for you, music that doesn't do it for you. You know, ultimately nobody's rubbish. They just appeal to different things, and everybody's allowed to like what they like and whatever. But when it comes to guys like Takeshi 69, I'm just lost. Like, how, like, there's, you know what I mean? 'Cause there's certain bands where it's like, okay, it doesn't do it for me, but whatever, cool. This guy's just, why? What is it that people actually like in this? But that's a whole world I ain't trying to understand too much. But yeah, I'll say that Takeshi 69, not a band, but a rap artist, I guess. Now, why would he do that, knowing that nobody likes him? He's got that one good song. Eddie Murphy and Michael Winslow. I've seen Metro actually. Saw that way back in the day. I wouldn't call it a good movie though. Eddie Murphy was twists. Yeah, I've seen that movie. Plays like The Negotiator or something. I've seen that movie. His new single. Yes, I've heard Attention. Yeah, I've heard it. You don't like it? Okay. Okay. I thought it was pretty cool. I'm guessing she's got a new album coming out soon. I mean, there's 2 new singles just come out, so I don't know if it's been announced yet, but I'm assuming a new album is. Actually, no, it was announced. A new album was announced. So yeah, there is a new album coming. I just remembered it was announced. It was. But yeah, I thought Tension was pretty cool. I feel like I saw somebody post this, and I agree actually. I saw them. They posted it on Twitter that Kylie Minogue is just one of the most consistent artists around right now. I think that's true. I mean, this is a person who's been putting out bangers for decades, you know, and yeah, maybe not every single song she's released is a masterpiece, you know, whatever, but she's legit been putting out bangers for decades, like since the 80s, you know, like 80s, I mean, what's that, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, and now the 2020s. So that's what, 5 decades. You know what I mean? 5 decades of bangers. Like, how many artists can claim that? You know what I mean? How many artists can, how many, anybody can claim that? You know, so yeah. I saw somebody post on Twitter about her being just one of the most consistent artists, and yeah, I definitely agree with that. I definitely agree with that. Who do you like, Brex? Who's a good mumble rapper to check out? I'm not saying I will, but just if you drop a recommendation, we'll see. Black had absolute nerve to call Stone Sour. Nickelback Lights. Oh mate. The little that I know about Nickelback, and granted, I'm not going to say I know a whole lot about Stone Sour either. I guess I know one of their albums and a few other songs, but I think I know a little bit more about Stone Sour than I do about Nickelback. Anyway, the little that I know about Nickelback, I'd have to say that is not true. So that's my time she's been doing music donkeys, yes. Oh man, yeah. What up, Reese? You know what? I don't know if I'd agree with Madonna actually, because yeah, she has been putting out music for a long time, but I don't think it's correct to say that she's been that consistent though. You know, like she's definitely put out a few bangers for sure. But if you think of like the last really big Madonna song, or the last Madonna song that, not necessarily like that you liked or whatever, but just the last Madonna song that just like hit. And we're probably going back at least 10, 15, 20 years. You know what I mean? So it's not that she hasn't been putting out music in that time. But when you think of the last Madonna song that hit, that really hit, I think we'd be going back a while. You know what I mean? We'd be going back a while. So yeah, she's been putting out music for a while, which is great. I ain't knocking that as an achievement. But to say she's been consistent, yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, of course, she's allowed to put out whatever music she wants. I ain't saying that, you know. She can do what she wants. She's her own person, blah, blah, blah. I ain't saying that, but yeah, no. Not a controversial Wang Gang Doodle. That's some talent, but still an idiot. Well, even a stops clock is right twice a day. Well, I mean, some people have nipples on their backs. This thing on my say, oh, mush. General knowledge. I like a quiz. That sounds good to you. Listen to them. That's why usually they sound similar. songs. Nah. Alright, here's a question for Reese. Reese just come through the chat, so it's a question for Reese and anybody else who hasn't answered it yet, which is still a few of you, by the way, just saying. But a question for Reese and anybody else who hasn't answered yet. What poor people things do you still do? So that's the question I've been asking everybody. What poor people things do you still do? So things that you do to, you know, whether it's to save a little bit of money, to make your resources last a little bit longer. What poor people things do you still do, even if you don't really have to do it anymore? In fact, especially if you don't have to do it anymore. But what poor people things do you still do? That's a question for Reese and anybody else who hasn't answered yet. We're trying to get some advice for people. We're going through a cost of living crisis, so we all need money saving tips. But yeah, Madonna, I'll say like the last really big Madonna song. I don't know, you know. I mean, I think she had an album out called Ray of Light, which I thought was really good. That was a really high quality album, and that was like 90 something. And I don't think that was her last hits. I think she did have maybe a few hits after that. But yeah, I do feel like we're going back a while. Let me see. Let's search Madonna songs actually. See if we could jog our memories. That's when the last big Madonna song was. Like things like a Prayer, Like a Virgin. You're going back years for that. Vogue. You're going back to like the 80s for those ones. In the Groove, Express Yourself. I mean, Madonna's peak was probably in the 80s. Let's keep it real. Like, actually, no. I don't think she peaked in the 80s. Probably about the 90s, I'd say. But 80s, 90s was when Madonna was like top tier. After that, it was kind of like, meh. I ain't trying to be rude in that one, but just gonna keep it real. Just gonna keep it real. That's 13. UK #1. Okay, but Ben with the copy and paste. Okay, cool, gotcha. Yeah, what up, Dan? 1985. Most recent 2008. Kanye has 7 UK #1s first. 1988. Most recent 2003. This song Frozen was pretty good. Frozen. Oh, okay, I think I remember Frozen. I compare it to one of those albums. Never eat at restaurants. Walk when possible. Learn how to do DIY mechanics. Like you can either do things yourself or not get ripped off paying someone. Make do and mend. Okay, Reese came with actual. Reese came with just actual like life tips. We're all saying stuff like, you know, when the washing up liquid runs down, you add water, put water in it, and mix it up. We're saying stuff like that. Reese is like, yeah, learn to fix stuff. It's like, all right, cool, fair enough. That's fair. That's fair. Actual life tips. Learn how to fix things. Makes sense. It's good advice, actually. It really is. It's good advice. Into the groove, spinning around. Okay, out of my head and slow. Island ready. Island ready, okay. Man's going abroad. Yesterday and been on the giveaway page for 2 hours and no one had commented on it. It's a site where people are quick to get anything. I had it running in 45 minutes. It's worth like 150. Oh, nice. So you got it free, you could flip it for 150. That's a good get. That is a good get. Oh yeah, that cool. Alright, Dan, I'm gonna ask you a question I've been asking everybody. What poor people things do you still do? Question for Dan now. What poor people things do you still do? So things that you do to save a little money or to make your resources last a little bit longer. What poor people things do you still do even if you don't have to do them anymore, and especially if you don't have to do them anymore? It's easy when you know how people pull off a thing by electricity. Well, don't tell them it's easy. Just go learn how to do it and cut you out. Yeah, there's certain things I could fix. Anything that involves opening up like electric circuits or things like that. Yeah, I mean I've done simp stuff in the past, but I'd probably rather just not these days. Like if I have to open up a circuit box or anything like that, I'm like, you know, I'm good. Either get it to somebody who knows how to, who's a bit more professional at these things, or just get a new one. But yeah, there's certain things I can fix. You know, certain things, you know, you can fix with glue. Like there's a lot of stuff you can fix with glue actually, like super glue. Like I don't know if you know this, I keep super glue. This one's nearly empty, so I need to get some new ones. But if you get something like this, you can fix so many things with super glue. Like you really can. So there's a poor people thing right there. Get super glue. That's a poor people thing I still do. Get super glue, because you can fix so many things with super glue. You really can. You want to start doing videos to show people how easy it is. You know, that's a good idea actually. How to fix things, like, yeah, I think that's a really good idea to have videos channel, a YouTube channel, video series, how to fix things, showing how to fix, whether it's a TV or whatever, a radio. If careful tape can't fix it, then it's knackered. So I have the tendency of skipping meals, drinking tap water. Skipping meals. But you save a lot of money doing that. Save at least 10 quid a day. Well, it depends how many meals you're skipping, really. Skip 2 meals and you're saving somewhere around 5 to 10 quid a day. Of course, it depends on how much you eat anyway. Next time, where Joy-Cons come out to Heck yeah. The Joy-Cons are terrible, man. Like I got that drift issue as well, and I was watching some videos about how to fix it, and they talk about using cardboard and stuff like that. And I tried that, and it didn't work. I might try super glue actually. I haven't tried it since, to be honest with you, but because it didn't even occur to me to go back. I haven't played my Switch for such a long time at this point. It's basically just a fancy paperweight that doesn't even. I'm not even using it as a paperweight. It's just a desk ornament at this point. If I ever go back to my Switch, I might have to try that super glue on the Joy-Con, see if that works. So no one else. If you can't fix it, just, you know, pay someone else to fix it or sell it. You know, you could sell broken things on eBay. So here's a money tip actually. You can actually sell damaged goods on eBay. Like there's people who buy damaged goods. You have to be clear that you are selling damaged goods. Like don't tell them it works fine when you know it's broke. Like, but yeah, people will buy damaged goods. There are people who do that. Now I guess they buy it to see if they could fix it themselves, or maybe want to strip it for parts. You know, who knows? They could do any number of things, but there are people out there who would buy damaged goods. Just put it in the title that it is a damaged goods, and yes, somebody would probably buy it, especially when it's things like phones, I think like computer parts, you know, stuff like that. You know, there's people who will buy damaged goods, and sometimes you can get a decent amount of money for them. So, remember, I once sold a broken iPhone for like £100-something on eBay. I was like, all right, I'll take that. 100 quid for a broke up iPhone. It's like, yeah, I'll take that. So yeah, there's a poor people thing you can try. If you got anything damaged, especially kind of electronics that you can't get working, put it on eBay, let them know that it's damaged, but yes, somebody will probably buy it. I skip meals all the time. Oof, well that just don't sound healthy. Sam, make sure you're eating properly. Make sure you're eating properly, Sam. Gotta take care of yourself. The 9/11 attacks was on for X. Oh, okay, that's a different thing. Alright, cool. So the drift, okay, because I was trying the cardboard and that didn't work, so apparently you need part. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Fair enough. Guess that's why the cardboard thing didn't work. Just need new parts. Bloody Nintendo, man. They used to make good stuff. They used to make good quality stuff that lasted. Now it's like, bloody hell, man. Bloody drift issues. Really? Well, yeah. I'm just gonna put broken in the title anyway. If you can get more for broken stuff than fixed stuff, I might just sell stuff on eBay that's working and be like, it's broken. Give me your money. People be getting like, so hey, ain't nothing wrong with this. This actually works, you scoundrel. He sold me something that works. 1 star. Mate, imagine that, getting 1 star for selling something that works. I see. Interesting. It's all good. Alright, cool. Yeah, what I remember about that day, like, I was working in a supermarket at the time, and I was probably skiving off work or something, I'm sure. Somebody came up to me, one of my friends came up to me, and he said something like, "Do you hear about America?" And I'm like, "What?" And he just goes, "America got fucked." That's what he just said that, right? And he goes, "There was a plane crash." And I was thinking, man, you guys need to learn how to fly planes, because this was us speaking at the time. You guys need to learn to fly planes, because like it weren't that long before where Aaliyah's plane crashed. Had the plane that Aaliyah was flying on crashed. So I'm thinking, man, what's going on in America? Like all these people crashing planes all the time. And then of course I found out that it was, a hijacked plane and it was purposely crashed later on. But yeah, that's how I found out about it. Just somebody coming to me, going, "America got fucked." And then you could get some of the details a bit later. It's like, all right, little trickles of information comes to you, then you get the rest later. But yeah, it was mad. It was pretty mad. Yeah, got the bottom of the milkshake in Asia now. Cereal's expensive now. Oof. Yeah, it's the anniversary, isn't it? You're in a pub at 17. You have a fake ID or something. So Alan was committing crimes when 9/11 happened. That's what he pretty much we just said. But yeah, cereal is expensive. It is like, you can get cheap cereals, like the store brand cereals are usually quite cheap, but you know what I mean, they're just you know what I mean. What is good though, cheap cereal, porridge. Porridge is a good cheap cereal, especially if you don't buy the boxed porridge. You buy the porridge that comes in the plastic bags, but you just need to get one of those containers to keep it in. But if you buy porridge, that's a good cheap cereal because you can make it quickly. Maybe get a banana to slice it up in the porridge for a little bit of flavor, and that's a good cheap cereal, porridge. So yeah, there's a tip for cheap cereal, porridge. You can eat it on its own if you want. It's all good to eat on its own, but if you want a little bit of flavor, maybe add a banana, or if you're really fancy, you could add like a strawberry or something, like chop up a strawberry and put it in there. Or berries are good. Berries are good ones as well. Put some berries in there. Mix it in with the porridge. She played Trini. I'm blanking on their real name right now, but yeah, I know you're talking about. Said it was my birthday. Gave me a free pie out there. I was okay, cool. So your dad was committing crimes then on the lying about your age and giving up alcohol to a minor. All right, cool. Kids really understood what was happening. They were too young. I mean, you could have golden syrup if you want to, but I'm just saying that might push the purse a little bit. Golden syrup might push the purse a little bit. You might have to be real stingy with the golden syrup, so make sure it lasts. You know. But yeah, golden syrup and porridge is nice though, for real. It is nice, but if the aim is to keep the money low. You have to be real conservative with that golden syrup. I've never been ID'd in a pub. Well, that can mean one of two things, really. Either the pubs you've been to never cared about how old you are anyway, or you just look old. Like, do you know what I mean? It's either the pubs you go to don't care about people's ages and just serve you anyway, or you look old. Like, which is it? Which is it, Al? Al was 14 years old, looking like he was 45. Sitting in a pub with a newspaper and a pint of ale, and a pint of bitter, cigarette in one hand, trying to read the paper. Bartender's like, Al, how's the old ball and chain? Al's just there like, oh, you done on the off of it, mate. When I was a youngster, I had a crush on Pink Ranger. Oh yeah, I think a lot of people did. Can't lie, man. Kimberly, Pink Ranger. Amy Jo Johnson. Yeah. She kind of brought the boys to the yard as far as Power Rangers was concerned, for sure. She brought a lot of boys to the yard. Remember that time there's like conflicting news about what exactly happened and how many planes were down, and there was like there was reports of one plane that was heading towards somewhere. I think that was heading towards somewhere in Washington. I think I can't really remember, but it was apparently heading towards somewhere. But the story was that the passengers managed to retake control of the plane, but ended up crashing it. away from wherever their intended target was. How true that is, right? But I think that was the official story, that the passengers regained control, but Power Rangers was alright, to be fair. Actually, man, I didn't get big into it, but I mean, to be fair, it was a pretty decent show for it at the time. You know, especially for like us martial arts kids, like it was pretty much the only, well, not the only show, but one of very few shows that were kind of martial arts focused back in the day like that. So yeah. Alright, let me show you guys something real quick as we're talking about 9/11. This was taken when I went to New York, but that is when they were rebuilding the Twin Towers. So that's ground zero. And there's another picture going up. So yeah, this was back in, when was this again? Actually, I can't remember. Forgotten when I did. 2010. This was 2010. It's about 13 years ago. So about 9 years after it happened. But yeah, some pictures of the construction when they were rebuilding the towers. Let's still get out. So ID at 29 plus. That was 29 plus VAT. ID denied. About 27. Oof. ID'd and denied. You know, like, man, looks like ID was like, it's obviously fake. Because I know that's my real driving license, bro. So Reese, you must look mad young then if you got ID'd and denied. You must look way younger than you are. So the opposite of Al. Al was 14 looking 45. Ben is 45 looking 14. Not Ben, I said Reese, sorry, my bad. I mixed up, I mixed my names. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Reese. Reese, my bad. Must be looking really young. Mix up the names. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Broken Skull. Yeah. You know, there was some conspiracy theories about inside jobs and all that kind of stuff, and I don't know. I think, to be fair, when I heard, some of them did sound plausible to me. But I don't know. I mean, the thing about conspiracy theories is that they are just that, you know, theories, right? Maybe they're true, maybe they're not, but in the end of the day, it's like, no way I can prove it. But yeah, I would say some of those conspiracy theories did sound plausible. I was like, you know what, I can believe that. I think I wouldn't put it past people. Some people are that cruel to do something like that. Like, it wouldn't surprise me. No, for sure. Especially like the fire services and yeah, rescue services. I look young now. I'm 34. Probably all those Rizzlers you've been smoking when it aged you. Oh well, oh well. It's fine, Jack. That's fair. Oh, actually, you know what? To kind of lighten the mood a little bit, because, you know, 9/11's an important thing to talk about, but, you know, so hopefully not get too depressed thinking about tragic events. Let me show you something really cool. So we were talking about this the other day as well. And I do have a picture of it somewhere. I'm pretty sure I have a picture of it somewhere. I'm almost certain. Where is it? Where's the damn picture? It's in it somewhere. It's got to be. Hopefully I didn't accidentally delete it, because that would be horrible. Oh, by the way, that's Elliot Chang, and that's oh, no, what dude's name? Oh, where's this picture? That's not one I want to show you, by the way. It's in here somewhere. It's in here. It's gotta be. It's gotta be. Please, please, please. Where is ya? Where is ya? Damn it. Okay, so it's not the one I want to show you, but this is the New York Public Library where Ghostbusters was set. It wasn't filmed there, but it was set there. So that's pretty cool. But there's something else I want to show you though. I can't find the damn picture though. I know I took a picture of it. Mate, that sucks. Hopefully I didn't accidentally delete it. It might have been that I just haven't put it in this folder. But yeah, I had a picture of the fire station where the Ghostbusters was done as well. But now I can't find it. Anyway. Message transfers of money in the days preceding, etc. I have no idea. Trying to go here. I believe in real mother and daughter. And do they think you're grandmother and daughter? Grandmother and grandchild. I keyed. Charms for the win. Oh yeah, those Lucky Charms were nice. You can get them over here, but yeah, you usually have to pay like a premium for it because it's like it all imported or whatever. But yeah, not Pop Tart, so Fruity Loops and Lucky Charms. Oh, this was good. Ooh, if you could see it, because the picture's a bit of a crap quality, but this was good. This was a Philadelphia cheesesteak. The Philly cheesesteak. It was so good. It was so good. Brax, I believe you said you've had one of these, so you already know. And anybody else who's had one of these, you already know. But that is worth the trip. I'm telling you, that is worth the trip to America. That Philly cheesesteak is, oof. Obviously. I can't find this picture, y'all. Man, I know I took the picture. Hopefully I didn't accidentally delete the picture, because that would be a damn shame. It was a cool picture, but I cannot find it. I cannot find it. Oh man, that sucks. You remember the Roxane? I don't see no like fruit. Yeah, I remember that. Fruit Pebble. Yeah, it was Fruit Pebbles. Oh well, I guess it be gone. I guess it be gone. These days. Yeah, it's all a long time ago. Ugh. That's not on working day tomorrow, so I'll make the stream if I do. Be the tail end of it. I'll try to get back in time to catch with it. I appreciate that, Ben. It's so good. Priorities, man, priorities. But yeah, tomorrow's live stream should be starting at around 8 p.m. GMT. We are watching the last 3 episodes of X-Files Season 3. And then next week, next week, Ben had a pretty good idea about watching a few episodes of Neighbours. Depending how many might depend on how many are available at the time, but maybe like 2, 3, we'll see how many is available, just as the new season is starting. So we'll do that for a week and then go back to regular stuff, because I ain't trying to watch that thing all the time. You go like maybe check it out in the beginning, but bruh. photos elsewhere, just on Google. Setting off my assistant. I do have offline backups of some of my photos, yeah. So it might be in there somewhere. But yeah, Google is the main one that I use for ease of access. But yeah, I do have an offline backup. And that just involves digging it out and setting it up, and you know. Oh, excuse me. Oof. Let's put a poll up for the next TV series to watch. Favorite lights might be no, I haven't yet. I haven't. Yeah. Still might, but yeah, not as of yet. I'm gonna have to pull my thumb on my ass if people wanna watch that though. I just might have to like pull the trigger on that one if people wanna watch that. About those kind of stories though, like, I mean, I don't mean to undermine anybody's like feelings or whatever, right? But when people say stuff like, I was supposed to get on this plane, but I went to the toilet, I missed my flight, and then the plane crashed, it's like, okay, like, good for you, but what do you want me to do with that story? You know what I mean? Like, when people say stuff like that, it's like, what is the purpose of that? Like, tell that story to your friends maybe, but like, why would you put that out in a public space? I was supposed to be on the flight, but I had a feeling. Like, yeah. So bunch of other people didn't have that feeling and they're all dead now. Like, what would you want? Like, that's the type of thing you say to your friends, your family, like your kind of your close circles. Like, why would you put these stories out into the public? Like, you know, some tragic event happens and you're talking about, oh, I was almost on it. It's like, so? Like, bunch of people mourning their mourning their loved ones, and you're talking about, I was almost on it. It's like, bruh. Yeah, man. It's like those people who just make everything about themselves. You know what I mean? You know, people like that, they make everything about themselves. It's like, so what that you almost on a flight? Like, literally, so what? Like, it makes absolutely no difference to anybody. You know? Like, if you're around with your buddies and like, man, I was almost on that flight. I was like, word, man, lucky escape. But when you start going out into the public and putting it out into the world, like, oh, I was like, bruh, shut up. Like, I mean, like, mate, people who say that stuff, like, a bunch of people lost their lives, and they have the audacity to try and make it about themselves and how lucky escape they had. It's like, shut up, man. Get off the TV. You better watch it. Death will come for sure. Yeah, you guys seen what's that movie? The Final Destination. Yeah, Death missed there that time. Death be like, damn it, that's what I'm supposed to get. Can't run forever, man. You can't outrun death forever. That's the thing when people sort of say stuff like, you know, they're blessed or divine intervention. Is like, you don't know that. I mean, who's to say that they're blessed because they didn't die on that flight? Like, for all we know, the people who died on that flight are the blessed ones. Like, we don't know. You know what I mean? We don't know. But people say stuff like that, like they believe that, you know, God favors them or something because they didn't get on a flight or something happened and they didn't die in an accident. It's like, and they start to believe that God favors them. It's like, look, you can think that if you want to, but when you start putting it out into public, it's like, nah, keep your mouth shut, bro. Nah. All these like celebrities or whatever, like, oh, I'm so blessed. It's like, and what? And they weren't. Like, you don't know them to say they weren't blessed. You don't know all the people who were on that flight or in that building. What, 3,000 people died and you're just gonna say they weren't blessed? Like, what, really? Nah. Look, tell those stories to your friends, but like, keep it out in public. You ain't got no business saying stuff like that when people are mourning the death of their close friends, their relatives, their family members, and people want to come on TV talking about, I was, oh, that's, nah. I ain't impressed by that. Colonist Nation, yeah. Right. Exactly. Slogan. There you go. Death comes for everybody eventually, one way or another. Some of us will die young, some of us will die old, some of us will die somewhere in between, but one way or another, death comes for everybody. And all I know is that it ain't my place or nobody's place to talk about who's really blessed, because that kind of knowledge is just not known to us mere mortals. But I will say this, for all those people who died in the 9/11 attacks, not a single one of them ever had to listen to not a single one of them ever had to listen to Takeshi 6ix9ine. So you really want to talk about who's blessed? Hmm? we all lived till this day and had to hear that crappy music. They didn't. So I'm just saying. If you really want to talk about who's blessed. 3,000 people never had to hear Ice Spice. I mean, who's really blessed, huh? Teacher back in high school, was in the National Guard back then. She said she thought I was gonna have to go into active duty when it happened. Have you ever had a near-death experience? I have actually, yeah. I believe I've had two that I'm aware of anyway. Always an upside, exactly. Nah, that's fine. It might do that from time to time. Probably just needs to be refreshed or something, but no bother. As long as you can see the chat in the actual chat box. I know I can see the chat in the actual chat box. It's all good. The stuff on the video is just there for decoration. It's not really. I don't use it to be read. It's just more for decoration. I think it looks cool. If it freezes, no bother. But yeah, the two near-death experiences I know of that happened is one when I was in school, where I was leaning back on the chair, kind of just rocking back on the chair, and I think it was like a cabinet or something large fell behind me, and it literally came like maybe within that much. It was pretty close of hitting my head. I'm leaning back, so if I leant back just that little bit more, that would have been, you know, just that tiny bit more. If I leant back that tiny bit more, it would. And then the other one was in Denmark when we were crossing the road, because they drive on a different side of the road. They drive on Denmark. They drive on the right hand side of the road, whereas in the UK we drive on the left. So I'm very much used to looking right when crossing the road. So I'm looking right, thinking, "Oh, the road's clear." No, it's not. No, it's not. So that was pretty close. Was me collapsing and shaking like crazy. Lose of consciousness. It was weird. My mom was nearby. She sounded like she was far away. Oh, by the way, man, that's mad though. What's the WWC, by the way? What's WWC? World, I think it's World Something Center. I thought it was World Trade Center, but that wouldn't be WWC. So I might be thinking of something else. But I don't know, like the what was it? He said the baby had to get was from a gay interracial couple. Like, is that relevant information? Like, you know, a 2-month baby died. That's pretty tragic, regardless of whether it was a gay interracial couple or not. You know, it's tragic that a 2-month-old baby was killed in a terrorist attack. I don't know. Is it supposed to be more or less tragic because it was a gay interracial couple? I don't know. There's... reflexes. Yeah, I would not be here today, man. It's a close call, man. Yo, Frederick. Taylor Swift has done song come on with I suppose Taylor Swift has 63 souls. I wish you sunny days, Gemini's. Alright, appreciate that, Fred. How about you, Benedict? Have you had a near-death experience? I was just saying about you said there was a 2-month-old baby that died as one of the victims, and then you put there was from a gay interracial couple, and I was just saying, I was asking like is that relevant? You know, like, is it more or less tragic? You know what I mean? Like, because once you mention a 2-month-old baby died in a terrorist attack, I'm thinking, man, that's tragic. I'm not worried about whether it's a gay interracial couple. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like, like what am I supposed to take from that when you say it was a gay interracial couple? It's like, okay, does that change anything? Like, low blood pressure and irregular heartbeat, and my blood pressure just dropped like oof. Right, I mean, it's like a baby died. It's like, okay, that's tragic. Had a gay interracial couple. Like, all right, does that change how tragic it is? Like, well, no. Not sure that matters actually, unless I'm missing something. Got more stories like that. Damn. Indeed. Wait, that happened, and now you're saying you're skipping meals, bruh. You playing with fire, Dan. You playing with fire if you skipping meals after that. Better make sure you eat all the meals. Better make sure you eat all your meals, and then some. Did you have a good return to school? I don't know. Is anybody here going to school? I think all of us are. I think all of us here are not in school anymore. Actually, Frederick, you might be the only one that's in school, and hopefully you had a good return to school. I went old school. We're all adults here, are we, Alan? Are we? Mr. 14-year-old looking like he's 40. we just found out Alan's not really really grown up. He just looks a lot older than he is. Alan's really 14, but he looks like he's 39. Mr. Buckley? Is that one of your teachers? Should I call him and tell him to give you bad grades? Tell him that Frederick's not been behaving himself outside of class, and you should give him all bad grades and make sure he fails all his semesters. The semesters? Years? I don't know. I don't go to school anymore. I don't know what you people do. We call them years? Semesters? I don't know. Trimesters? Is that it? My kids went back to school. When they went back to school, were you like this? Finally. Sam had the whole house to herself and did backflips on her bed. So I'm like, finally, I've got a house to myself. Hooray! I keyed. Just over 20 years ago. You sure, Al? I think Al's really got about 2 years left of school. Al's got about 2 years left of school. It's alright. Because he looks 39, he's still got to work a full-time job. Is Mr. Buckley your teacher, Fred? I'm gonna call Mr. Buckley. I'm gonna call him. I'm gonna be like, yo, we need to talk about Fred, dude. I'm gonna tell him to mark you down in English. I'm gonna tell him you need to mark Fred down in English. Give him a give him a U. Good. Yeah. I had some cool teachers back in the day. I had some sucky teachers as well, but you know, that's how it goes. I'm going to tell Mr. Buckley to put you as well in detention, Alan. I'll say, Mr. Buckley, you need to put Alan in detention as well. He's pretending to be a 39-year-old. He went and got himself a full-time job. He's been skipping school, living like an adult. Like, nah, you need to put him in detention and take away his... Actually, no, I guess you won't need a fake ID because the computer's an ARCS ID. You know what? Yeah, be like, just put him in detention. Right, you only need to act your age, Alan. You might look 39, but you're 14. You have to make. I'm going to tell Mr. Buckley to make Alan write out lines. I will not pretend to be 39. I am 14 years old. I will not pretend to be 39. I swear all the time. I let those words fall out of my mouth. I guess they You know, I feel like there's some people who are just really good at swearing. You know what I mean? Like, there's some people who are just good at swearing. I mean, anybody can say a swear word, right? But there's some people who are just good at it. Like when they use it, it sounds like poetry. You know what I mean? Like there's people who just swear every other word. Like every second word is like an F bomb or something. There's people who talk like that, and it's like whatever. That doesn't do it for me. But there's people who just like, I don't know, man. Just something about the way they use swear words. Like it just sounds like they're speaking poetry, man. It's like there's people just good at it. Like I'm gonna tell Mr. Buckley to put Fred in detention and make him write out lines saying, I will use more swear words. I will use more swear words. I will use. Write it out 1,000 times. They fought their way out of the building and treated it like a regular day. I don't know if that's as good for that. That might suggest that might suggest they've dealt with some. They've got some undealt with trauma actually, but hey, I'm not judging. I'm not judging. Sometimes you just gotta make jokes. Sometimes. Family reunion, really? Oh, mate. Fred, it might be best you don't listen to this one, actually. It might be best you don't. I told you not to listen to it, Fred. Everybody else, go for it, but Fred, you might want to sit that one out. Oh, Ben. I don't know, honest. Ben. I'm gonna have to tell Mr. Buckley to put Ben in detention as well. Make Ben write out lines. I will not send Fred naughty songs. I will not send Fred naughty songs. But yeah, on that note, it is about time I start winding down. Gonna have to make that call to Mr. Buckley, get him to put all of you in detention and make you write lines. I changed it for a long time. But yeah, should be streaming again tomorrow, 8 PM GMT, watching the final 3 episodes of the X-Files Season 3. 25th of September, not next Monday, the Monday afterwards. Not live streaming on that, so no live stream on the 25th of December, Monday 25th December, so it's in a couple of weeks. But aside from that, should be business as usual until then and after then. But yeah, 25th September, Monday 25th September, no live stream then. It got me an event to go to, and it's probably going to go into the evening, so yeah. Breakfast Club. That's a good movie too. See plastic cases somewhere. Christmas Day, 20th December. What did I say? That's what I said. September. Did I say December? My bad. September. 25th September. If I said December, sorry, my bad. 25th September in a couple of weeks. Not really. It's kind of a spoken word poetry event that my friend's running. But yeah, I think it's starting in the afternoon, but it's probably going to go into the evening. And even if it doesn't go into the evening, I probably won't be back in a decent enough time to start the live stream. So yeah, it's the best I just say, you know what, let me just cancel the live stream for the 25th. And then back to normal afterwards. But nah, it's not a formal event. I don't think I've ever, no, that's not true. I've been to formal events. I haven't been to a formal event for a long time though. And I have no real intentions of going to one again. Never say never, of course, but yeah, that's not my bag. We keep it casual. Keep it casual and we keep it nasty. Well, you deserve it. But guys, you have been awesome as always. I appreciate you and all that you do. Thank you for keeping the company. Thank you for keeping it lively. And until whenever, if ever, hopefully tomorrow. Peace.